Third time's a charm. All right. What was I gonna say? All right. Yes. It's been a while, huh? Like a couple months, like 4, 5, 6, maybe. I don't know. It's fun is it's been quite a bit since I did any draft league content. But we're back. It might be terrible timing for me to do this now, but that's my mistake, and if it goes badly, I'll have to bear with it, you know? Regardless, BRL Season 9, we're in the daycare division, which is in fact the highest division. I have no clue how we made that. But what's important is that we made it, and that's amazing. So, little intro to what BRL is. Basically, it's a regular draft league, like national decks, all that on Showdown, or technically on Sports, but same thing. But all legendaries are banned, and you can only use spawns that breed. But you can also use the 4 Galar fossils, which they're the only exception for some reason. Don't ask me why, they just are. Regardless, um, we were like 8th in the draft thing in the or draft order. Uh, and it was a snake draft, obviously, so we weren't in a very good position. Surprisingly, we didn't get sniped all that much. We only got like 3 big important snipes. But we managed to get like the main Pokemon we wanted. So, well, what are we waiting for? Let's get into it. Our round 1 pick was Mega Scizor. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sor, you couldn't. You didn't. How could you not have drafted a Mega Slowbro? Well, anyway, Mega Scizor. It's a great one. You've got Defog, Roost, U-Turn. It's a great steal, especially in BRL. You always need to draft steel types first, or like as soon as you can, because they go super quick. And Mega Scizor is a good one, especially when it's paired with good fire resists. Wink, wink, nudge, 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 nudge. Anyway, uh, yeah, this thing is crazy bulky. This thing can live like random fire coverage like easily if it has the right defensive investment. And Technician Ball Punch of 150 attack is always strong. Roost, Defog, and U-Turn are 3 great moves that are really good for any team to have. It also has knockoff. You can sweep with Swords Dance. It's really just a great mon all around. I'm honestly surprised it dropped to our spot in the draft order. You rarely see Mega Scizor not go like first 5 people maximum, especially in such a high division. Regardless, that's what this is. This is Mega Scizor, the hero. Oh, by the way, a naming thing. We're going with like character tropes in like fiction. So like we got hero. We'll see some later, and it'll be clear. So we got the hero. Our round 2 pick, Garchomp. Now, you may be wondering, how the hell did Garchomp make it to round 2? And frankly, I'm asking myself the same thing, and I have no clue how it got here. What's important is that it did get here. And it gives us a great speed tier 102, always amazing to have. The ground type, always good. Dragon type 2, it gives us a fire resist. Scizor can switch into ice moves targeted at it, and then switch out with U-turn and look this piece back in. It can sweep with Swords Dance Scale Shot sets. It can be defensive with Rocky Helmet Rough Skin. It's got great coverage. It's got rocks. That's important. Rockers are hard to come by in BRL, unless you want to dip into the lower tiers, which aren't very good, and you won't be bringing them very often. But Garchomp is a good rocker to have. You can go defensive. It could be an offensive rocker. It's just a great all-around mon. I don't really need to explain why Chomp is good, but because you know that Chomp is amazing. So here we have Chomp, the anti-hero. Third round, completing our Fairy Dragon Steel Core, we have Primarina. Now, Primarina, not only does it give us another good fire resist, it also gives us our first special attack. It's a really good special breaker. Spec sets hit insanely hard with Hydro Pump and Surf. It's called Moonblast. It gets covers like Energy Ball, Psychic. It can run Calm Mind sets. It can run defensive sets. If I want to get crazy, maybe to even lure some stuff, it can go physical because it has a couple surprising physical moves too. It doesn't get play rough, but you know sometimes you live without it. Really, it's just a great mon, but usually the Primarina is just going to be spamming specs moves because Fairy and Water are really hard to resist on most teams, especially when you have Psychic and Ice Beam and Energy Ball to back them up. Crazy good. So we Primarina, the love interest. Round 4. Continuing on with our cores, we got a grass type and an electric type, and a ground resist, which we previously did not have, or ground immunity, but you get the idea. It also gives us another good speed tier in the 80s, which helps us bridge the gap between Garchomp and Scizor. It's also another pivot, because we got Sizz, Primarina, now we got Rotom. It can go defensive with Will-O-Wisp sets and Volt Switch and Defog. We got a Defogger, which is good, especially we got a couple high tier Defoggers, that's important. Especially since we don't have all that many hazards. Regardless, wait a minute. Why are your wheels so weirdly polygonal? That's beside the point. Anyway, it can run Scarf, Leaf Storm. It's a shame Leaf Storm is the only grass type move it gets, but you'll be fine with just that either way. Yeah, so basically this really cemented the idea that we're going to try to go as hard as we can into pivoting to allow our big hitters like Garchomp, Pardon, and Scizor and Primarina to get in safely. Because, you know, Volturn teams, I'm a bit rusty, I haven't done Draft League in a while. And Volturn teams are easy to use and really effective. Alright, so there it goes, Rotom the Henchman. And now we got Incineroar, a second Gen 7 starter. Frankly, I wish I had decided to get the Decidueye instead of Rotom. Not because it would have been better or anything, just because I thought it would be funny to get all the Gen 7 starters. Anyway, Intimidate is really good, especially with Parting Shot and U-Turn. Now this does mean our team has a rock weakness, which you'll start to see becomes a bit of a problem, especially because we only have so far we only have the Foggers. But either way, that's besides the point. Get another knockoff user. Knockoff is always good, especially with boots all around. Some mons really don't want to Stealth Rock, like Incineroar, and getting their boots knocked off while we have Stealth Rock up can be very rewarding for us. And Intimidate is always an amazing ability. Incineroar is also just not limited to being a defensive pivot. It gets like Swords Dance. It can run Power Trip sets with Weakness Bossy and Flame Charge. It's really versatile, surprisingly, and it can be really it can be an out of nowhere sweeper if you really want it to be. God, I hate how it looks though. Why are its hands so big? Ugh, disgusting. God, you should be proud that you're fun in Smash, right? I would really hate you, Incineroar. Speaking of it, Incineroar, Gen 9 has that cat starter. Bit of echoes from the past, as they say. Let's just hope it stays on two legs and doesn't start twirling around on two, or else we're in deep trouble. Ooh, mama. So after the villain comes the mentor. Ye old Archeops, being our fastest mon so far, and another rocker, which is pretty good. Now, I think Archeops is an underrated mon. Especially in this league, it's only like 7 points. Was it 7? I think it was 7, yeah. Which is I think it's a really good steal for a mon as good as Archeops with like 145 attack and 115 special. I know the fetus exists, but you can play around that, especially if you have like good hazard removal, which we don't have bad. And it could run like a lot of sets really well, like banded, scarf, just boots, meteor meme, power herb, just a stealth rock lead, suicide lead with head smash. It's always a great mon to use. I think it's really underrated. And last time I used it in BRL, it went ham. It got tons of kills. It's also a really fun one. Oops, someone is calling me. I am back. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Archeops, the good old bird. Underrated mon, really strong, fun to use, fun design. What's not to love? I may have picked a bit too early because I was afraid I was going to get sniped and I really hadn't decided the rest of the team yet. You'll see that the team really changes shape as we keep going. Because, like, again with Archeops, we now have like 5 mons out of the 6 that can pivot. And that will be changing real soon. Speaking of changing real soon, Frost Ice. Originally, this was Excalibur, but during Grace we swapped it out for Frost Ice because for one we already had a bug type in Scizor, and for second I didn't really think that speed tier Excalibur gave us was going to be as crucial, and also I think Frost Ice is a better suicide lead, and also it can do more stuff than just being a suicide lead. It can run like band sets, which can be surprising and unexpected. Scarf is really good, I think. Against certain teams. But regardless, yeah. I just like Frost Ice. So I love it. I love it. The Old Witch, another trope. But regardless, you know what Frost Ice does. It has taunt, spikes. It taunts so you can't taunt it back. Or set your own hazards and then set spikes and get as much stuff as it can on your residual damage on the opponent. And as they try to kill it, the Destiny bonds up. Really simple, but really effective. Also gives us a nice type, which is very nice. Hitmontop! Woo! A fighting type. We finally have a rock resist. Really helpful. And another Intimidate mon, which means we can Intimidate pivot. Wait a minute, I just realized. Is Hitmontop's like blue thing supposed to be like a leotard? Crazy. Anyway, it also has Technician, which is really good with its priority moves like Bullet Punch and Mach Punch. Even Rapid Spin is boosted by Technician now. And now it doesn't just do no damage, and now it's actually relatively dangerous. But regardless, Hitmontop is Hitmontop. Not much more you can say about that. It does what it does, and it does it well. Next one. Woo. Galarian Bro, the comic relief. Wait, I forgot. Hitmontop is the sidekick, because you see the pun? It kicks to the side. I'm very funny, you see. Galarian Slowbro. For people wondering what happened to Slowbro, he went on a vacation to England, and now he's drunk, I think, or high, or both at the same time. I'm not sure, but he's got an arm cannon now, and I think that's pretty neat. I don't really remember why I decided to draw this in the first place. I just think I thought it was a fun mon. I've never used it before, but I wanted to try it because it seemed like really fun to use. It can do quick draw stuff with Quick Claw. Just if you want to really disrespect your opponent, if you don't respect them at all, just do that. It's nice. It's got regen, which is really good with all the pivoting I have on my team. It's got a bunch of good moves. It's got Slack Off, Nasty Plot, It can run Assault Vest too, especially with regenerating, like a mini Galarian Slowking. It just, worse in every way, except that it can run physical moves, so yay, I guess. Anyway, got Scald, Fire Blast, Shell Sidearm, Sludge Bomb, Psychic Psyshock. You can even run physical, Belly Drum, Drain Punch, Earthquake. This thing can do anything. It's crazy. It can even get up Trick Room for itself. It's really amazing. That's just the power of the Slowbro. Round 10. Alomomola, the Mother. Now, you may be wondering why I'm drafting another water type. And the answer to that is pretty simple. Actually, there's two answers. One is Regenerator to synergize with Galarian Slowbro. And the other reason is we didn't have a Cleric. And I thought that, you know, Alomomola had, what's it called? Heal Bell? Or Aromatherapy? I found out quite recently, by which I mean like 2 hours ago, that it does not in fact have Heal Bell or Aromatherapy, which is a shame. But it does have Wish, it does have Knockoff, it does have Toxic Unprotect, and Scald. I forgot to put Scald there, that's wacky. It runs 5 moves. Well, okay, that's poorly worded. It doesn't run 5 moves. It can only run 5 moves. And that's Scald, Knockoff, Protect, Toxic, and Wish. Nothing else. That's what it's always going to run. But it's really good, especially when I'm running a Self-Fest Slowbro alongside it. It gives us a nice regen pair that matches itself pretty well. It also has like a pretty different role from Primarina, so they're not really treading on each other's feet. I guess they don't have feet, like flippers. Oven mitts? Lomomola's fins look like oven mitts. Ugh. When you look at it, focus on its size, it looks disgusting. But it's a sunfish, it's cool. I like sunfish. They're important to my culture, I think. It's in the airport, so it must be important, I think. Ah, ads! I can't change them now. Guess you'll just have to live with the little ad for like 30 seconds. Anyway, yeah, that's a Lomomola. Last mon! This is our round 11 pick. It's Chatot, the animal sidekick. Now, originally, before we traded out Excelgor, this one was Haunter. But since we would have already had a poison and a ghost type, I decided to change it. And now we have a normal type attacker. This thing does one thing. And that one thing is called spamming Boom Burst. It's actually, fun fact, the strongest spammer of Boom Burst. Or at least, okay, let's be more specific. It's a stronger stab Boom Burst spammer. Because Toxicity technically has a stronger Boom Burst. But that's besides the point. So yeah, this thing is just clicking Boom Burst. Maybe Q turns out like once in a blue moon. Maybe it runs Heat Wave to deal with some steel types. It can even run Ominous Wind and Shatter if it really wants to. Shatter can really swing games because luck is a skill. I love its face. What are you doing here, Chatter? Why are you looking at me like that? Why do you think you have the status to look at me like I just insulted your mom? I don't understand why it looks like that in its official art. Like, what got you so upset, Chatot? Are you upset people call you stupid and weak? I don't blame you. I would be upset about that too. Anyway, that's the draft. I was supposed to have like the last slide, but I forgot to add it. But anyway, some thoughts. This is like my 6th, or I think 5th or 6th season of BRL. And I really like this league. It's really fun. And I got to top division, and that's fascinating. I really hope I win. I think the winner gets like $30. Don't quote me though. I'm not sure. Anyway, I think I'll in the description, if I remember, I'll include the server invite and the BRL Twitter if I also remember to do that. This is my letter to future me to remember to do that. What else was I gonna say? Anyway, yeah, it's good to be back and doing these draft league things. Stop looking at me like that. God, I don't like this slug. You look so upset. Like, chill out, shut up. Jeez. Yep. Anyway, yeah, that's all. That's all, folks. Wait, I should probably like and subscribe. Give me your money. Don't actually, I don't need it. But if you want to, I'm not gonna stop you unless you're broke. And I'll tell you that you probably shouldn't give me. We're so off track. Yeah, just stay tuned for the series. I'm sure it'll be amazing. I upped the production quality, as you can see. These slides look pretty snazzy, and I think I'll edit like stuff into the actual proper videos. Anyway, yep, that's that. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and I hope you guys don't choke on any chorizo. Good night, folks.